You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 29th of January. Swine flu kills at least 4 in India's northern hill town, Shimla. Pakistan's Supreme Court rejects review petition against Asia Bibi's acquittal. And Sri Lanka Navy apprehends 4 Indian fishermen. And now for all the details. At least 4 people have died due to swine flu in Shimla in India's northern Himachal Pradesh province, health officials confirmed. Around 20 patients were tested positive for the virus at a local government hospital in the province. Special measures have been taken by the authorities to contain the outbreak.
At least 4 people have died due to swine flu in India's northern hill town of Shimla, health officials said on Monday. The cases reported in the hill town have sent alarm bells ringing in the province, and special measures have been taken by the authorities to contain the outbreak. Senior Medical Superintendent of Indira Gandhi Medical College and Hospital, or IGMCN, said the blood samples of 67 patients were tested for swine flu virus, out of which 20 patients were tested positive.
और जो हमारे पास जो डाटा उपलब्ध है हमारे आईजीएमसी की अगर बात की जाए तो यहाँ पे 4 मौतें जो हैं वो स्वाइन फ्लू के पॉजिटिव मरीजों की हुई हैं, जिनमें से एक 2 साल की बच्ची भी सम्मिलित है.
Swine flu is caused by H1N1 virus. Its symptoms are similar to those produced by other influenza viruses, including high fever, cough, sore throat, body aches and respiratory problems. As per medical experts, children, elderly people, pregnant women and those suffering from respiratory problems are highly susceptible to the virus. And news from Pakistan. Pakistan's Supreme Court on Tuesday rejected a petition seeking review of the top court's verdict in October last year of acquitting a Christian woman of blasphemy charges. Rights groups say the blasphemy law is exploited by religious extremists as well as ordinary Pakistanis to settle personal scores against minorities who are often discriminated against.
Pakistan's Supreme Court on Tuesday dismissed a petition seeking review of the top court's verdict in October last year of acquitting Asia Bibi, a Christian woman who spent 8 years on death row in a blasphemy case. The court said the petitioner was not able to point out any mistake in the verdict and ruled it was given on merit and on the basis of testimonies. Asia Bibi was convicted of blasphemy in 2010 over allegations she made derogatory remarks about Islam after neighbors objected to her drinking water from their glass because she was not Muslim. After the judgment in October last year, hundreds of angry protesters took to the streets across the country, calling for Bibi to be hanged. Rights groups say the blasphemy law is exploited by religious extremists as well as ordinary Pakistanis to settle personal scores against minorities. Since her release from prison in November last year, authorities have remained tight-lipped about her movement and whereabouts for security reasons.
Moving on, a shutdown strike was recently observed to raise voice against environmental issues caused due to Neelam Jhelum hydropower project in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Residents highlighted a massive water crisis built up of late in the illegally occupied region, which has made their lives miserable.
An alliance of civil society activists, traders and political workers recently called a shutdown strike in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-administered Kashmir to protest against the Neelam Jhelum power project. The strike was observed in wake of serious environmental damage caused by the diversion of Neelam River for commissioning the Neelam Jhelum hydropower project in the illegally occupied region. Locals highlighted the project has posed a serious environmental threat and that a massive water crisis has built up of late, which has made their lives miserable.
शटडाउन आज इसलिए जी मरतबा हम यहाँ पर कालें दे चुके हैं। जो ये नीलम जलम बनता है, ये हमारी मौत ज़िंदगी का सवाल है। ये दरिया जो चल रहे थे, ये बिल्कुल नाला नहीं हो गए। इसलिए हमारा मुतालबा, अगर नीलम तो बन गया, उस पर जो हमारे तफसात हैं उस पर बात की जाए और झेलम प्रोजेक्ट बंद किया जाए।
आज आवाम ने नीलम झेलम और जो प्रोजेक्ट जो बन रहे हैं, इसके खिलाफ अपना एहतजाज रिकॉर्ड करवाया है, क्योंकि पानियों की बंदिश का एक संगीन मसला है। तो इस हवाला से आवाम का ये एहतजाज है और ये बिल्कुल हक बजानिब है, क्योंकि ये जितने भी प्रोजेक्ट मनसूबा बनाया गया है मुजफ्फराबाद कश्मीर पे मुनसर है और इसका कोई रिटर्न माहिदा भी नहीं है।
Neelam River has now turned into a small rivulet of sewage right from Nosiri to Domil, where it merges in Jhelum River. Residents of Muzaffarabad are already reeling from the adverse effects of diversion of Neelam River. The proposed Kohala project, which envisages diversion of Jhelum River through a similar tunnel system, has compounded their worries. And in news from Afghanistan, former jihadi commanders in Afghanistan have called on the Taliban to hold direct talks with the government and with them if they really want to end the ongoing conflict and join the peace process. This came after US and Taliban representatives held talks in Doha over the past week, aiming to reach consensus on peace.
Several ex-jihadi commanders in Afghanistan's Parwan province have said that the Taliban should talk directly with the Afghan government if they really want to end the ongoing conflict and join the peace process. Speaking at a ceremony commemorating the death anniversary of over 1,000 people killed in a 1989 attack by Soviet Union troops, the former jihadi leaders called for unity among the Afghans. They welcomed the peace talks held between US officials and Taliban representatives over the past week in Doha, but said the group also needs to talk with them.
مقابل گروه سیاه و عجیرا ملت قهرمان شمال کابل و پروان و کاپیسا و پنشیر هست. بیا امروز ما مذاکره کنیم. امروز دولت افغانستان مذاکره کنیم.
While briefing Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Monday about the talks in Doha, US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad said that the ceasefire was discussed, but no agreement could be reached on that. There has been a marked increase in diplomatic efforts with the Taliban to stop the conflict in recent months, but the fighting hasn't stopped.
4 Indian fishermen were apprehended and their fishing trawler was seized by the Sri Lanka Navy on Monday for allegedly fishing in its waters. Fishermen from both the countries frequently stray into each other's territory and then end up spending years in jails.
At least 4 Indian fishermen were arrested and their fishing trawler was impounded by Sri Lanka Navy on Monday for allegedly fishing illegally in its waters. The Sri Lanka Navy confirmed the arrest in a statement on its official website. The 4 apprehended fishermen were produced for a medical test before being handed over to the Assistant Director of Fisheries in Jaffna for onward legal action, the statement said.
கடலுக்கு போனதுல 4 மணி நேரத்திலேயே ஒரு படகையும் 4 மீனவரையும் சிறைப்பிடிச்சிட்டாங்க. இது வாடிக்கை, அதாவது ரெட்டமடி இழுக்கிற சீசன்ல பூரா இது மாதிரி படகை பிடிக்கிறது, மீனவனை கொல்றது, படகை மூழ்கடிக்கிறது இது நடக்கிறது.
India shares an expansive oceanic border with Sri Lanka without any perceptible demarcation, and fishermen on both sides ignore rules while netting their catch. Sri Lanka has long fumed over poaching and illegal fishing by Indian fishermen that it says depletes the catch of its own fishermen.
A cultural event was organized on Monday in Srinagar, city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir, to bid farewell to the 40-day-long harshest period of winters in the province. Artists enthralled the audience with folk dance, songs, poetry and play during the event.
A cultural event, Jashn-e Chilai Kalan, was organized on Monday in Srinagar, city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province, to bid farewell to the 40-day-long harshest period of winters in the province. During the event, the artists performed folk dance, songs, skits, poetry and plays, which were highly appreciated by the audience. The event was aimed at promoting the cultural heritage of the province, besides providing a platform to the budding artists to display their talent before the audience.
ये कोशिश है हमारी थिएटर का जो हमेशा ये रहा है कि किसी तरह से पब्लिक को घर से बाहर ला जाए, क्योंकि अब ये 1-2 दिन का ये बात है कि चलिए कलान ख़त्म होने वाला, तो जिसने चलिए कलान इसीलिए इसका टाइटल रखा गया। लोग महसूस हो गए, क्योंकि आपने गाने भी देखे, फिल्मी गाने भी देखे, गज़ल भी देखी और एक्टर्स को भी देखा, तो आज की जो ऑडियंस थी इनको हमने एंटरटेन किया। आज ये भूल गए कि इतनी सर्दी होने के बावजूद वो हम शो में आ गए।
हमने स्कूल में भी बहुत सारे शो किए, कल्चरल के मतलब रोफ किया है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें की है और हम आगे भी करते रहेंगे। ये बहुत अच्छा कल्चर है, हमें इसको आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए।
Chilai Kalan is the 40-day-long harshest period of winters in the valley that begins on December 21st and continues till January 29th after every 12 months. During this period, running taps freeze, large water bodies form a crust of frozen ice on their surface, and very few people come out of their homes to do their daily activities.
A 2-day-long auction began on Monday in India's national capital, New Delhi, in which gifts received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his national and international visits have been auctioned. The collection from the auction would be going to the cause of project to clean the river Ganges.
The gifts received by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his national and international visits were auctioned on Monday at the National Gallery of Modern Art in India's national capital, New Delhi. Nearly 1,900 items have been put on display in the auction, including mementos, paintings, sculptures, shawls and other handicraft items. The collection from the 2-day-long auction would be going to the cause of furthering the Clean Ganga project. People enthusiastically thronged the art gallery to buy their choice of gifts, thereby making a contribution to cleaning the river and taking a souvenir from the Prime Minister back home.
मुझे पता चला कि एक कॉज के लिए ये सारे ऑक्शंस हो रहे हैं जो नमामि गंगे में है, और गंगा अपनी इतनी अद्भुत अविरल गंगा है, नदी है, जिसको कि हम सबको कर्तव्य होता है उसको सफाई में। तो मैंने एक छोटा सा योगदान देना चाहा कि क्यों ना एक सामान भी आ जाए अपने घर में एक सोवेनियर के तौर पे, और मेरा कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन एक गंगा के लिए भी चला जाए।
पहली बार मैंने इससे देखा है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी का मूवमेंट के लिए पब्लिक के अंदर भी इतना मतलब लेके जाने के लिए इतना इच्छा है।
Narendra Modi-led Indian government had committed an investment of $3 billion in 2015 for a 5-year project to clean the river Ganges that remains heavily polluted despite being a water source for 400 million people. It is arguably one of the most revered rivers in the world and the most polluted as well. It is worshipped by Hindus who call it Ganga Mata or Mother Ganga and believe that taking a dip in the river absolves sins of a lifetime.
Thousands of Hindu seers recently gathered for a grand holy community meal prepared specially for them at the Kumbh Fair, the world's largest religious gathering. They were offered food in silver utensils among other gifts.
At least 2,000 Hindu holy men and women recently gathered at the Samasti Bhandara or holy community meal, prepared specially for them at the world's largest religious gathering, the Kumbh Fair in India's northern Prayagraj city. During the holy meal ceremony, the sadhus or Hindu seers were served food in silver utensils and a variety of gifts were also offered to them. The tradition of serving meals to the sadhus has been a part of the Hindu culture since ages. The devotees believe that offering meals to the holy men brings good fortune for them and their family.
कुछ देना, गिफ्ट लेना, अपने सुख दुख की बात कहना, अगले के सुख दुख की बात पूछना, अगले को बुला करके भोजन कराना और स्वयं जाकर के भोजन करना, ये प्यार का अच्छा लक्षण है.
The Kumbh Fair, which is more than 2,000 years old, is a meeting point for Hindu seers, some of whom live in forests or Himalayan caves and come out only during this period. The fair is traditionally held every 3 years in one of 4 cities of Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nasik.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.